Hello everyone, I am Laethas and welcome back to another video, and today I have another list video. This time, 5 things I want to see from manga publishers. And so basically what this is going to be is me naming out 5 different things that I just want to see manga publishers do going forward. Things that I'd like to see them sort of, maybe licenses, or the way they do their books, how they print, that kind of thing. But without further ado, let's get started. Now, these aren't in any particular order, but first off, we have, I want manga publishers to put margins on pages that are 2-page spreads. So, that time when you open up a page, or you flip to the next page, and it's a 2-page spread, and anything in the center is just inside the crease of the book? Yeah, that's no fun. It makes scans more appealing. It's not a big deal, but it is certainly something that digital has over physical, is when you don't put your margins on your 2-page spreads, anything that happens in the center of the page is lost, and the left and right halves don't match up perfectly well. So what I'd like to see manga publishers do is any page that is a 2-page spread, I want to see margins in the center so that none of the artwork is lost inside the crease of the book. That would make me much happier. It's not a super big deal, but it would be nice to see, so I can actually see the full 2-page spread, especially when the the key point in the frame is in the center, and then it's just gone, and you're like, wow, this sucks. Yeah, I want margins on 2-page spreads. Yeah. Moving on, the next thing I want, this is, more personal thing for me, but I want to see page numbers, more page numbers. Now, I don't want it to be, like, just every page has a page number. Just, if there's white space in the corner of a panel, and the white space isn't significant to the panel itself, just put a page number in it, like in the top right hand or bottom right hand, top left hand, bottom left hand corner, just so I know what page I'm on, because a lot of the times when I'm reading a manga, I don't know what page I'm on, and I like to know what page I'm on, especially when there's a table of contents that lets me know when chapters start and end, especially if I'm looking for a specific panel that I know where it is, but I have no page number reference to sort of sort through. So I would like to see manga publishers put more page numbers in their books. As I've said, just in white space, if it's not panel significant, just add a page number to it so I know where I am in the book. That one's probably the smallest pet peeve of mine on this list. When it comes to, like, publishing in general. But yeah, moving on to the third one, I want to see manga publishers do more box sets. Now, this is something that I really like box sets. I think they're great, especially for people who are new to manga, because it lets you get an entire complete series in a single purchase, and if the box set's done right, oftentimes for a cheaper price than buying all of the volumes individually. So I want to see more box sets like the Viz Media Claymore box set, the Rosario Vampire box set, the Naruto box sets. You know what I'm talking about. But I also like to see sort of like the Akira box sets and the Nausicaa box sets. Those sort of more high-end collector's item sort of sets that are a complete series in a really, really nice format. I really like those as well. I really just like box sets for the sense that it's a complete series in one purchase, and it is oftentimes for a very good price. And, when we have the market as it is now, with all these really long series coming out, like Attack on Titan, Toriko, not all of these have box sets, and so it can be very intimidating for someone to be getting into these series because they are so long. And so I think it would encourage people to pick up these series, and just overall make people, more into getting into these longer series if there were more box sets for them. And another thing I like about box sets is normally they contain a little extra goodie in them, like a poster or an art, like teeny tiny art booklet thing, which I think is also very, very nice. So I'd like to see manga publishers push out more of these box sets, especially for series that are, you know, incredibly popular, like Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul box set would, I imagine, definitely sell well, as would like an Attack on Titan one. And they're also really, really nice set pieces. Yeah, I want to see more manga publishers experiment with box sets, different types of box sets. We've got the hardcover box sets, like the giant 2 volumes for Nausicaa and Utena. You know, I think those are really cool for these short series. And then you have the giant box sets, like for Claymore and Naruto, which are a lot of volumes, and a really nice cardboard sort of box with really nice artwork on it. So, you know, I think there's a lot that hasn't been done with box sets before, because not too many have been put out. But moving on to my next point, I'd like to see more hardcovers. Now, this is a positive and a negative if there are more hardcovers. The negative being is the average price of manga would be going up, because hardcovers are just more expensive. They have to be. So that would be a little bit of a negative. But I think the market as it is now is thirsty for higher quality books. It appears to be growing. Not only does it appear to be growing, but the number of people that consider themselves collectors as opposed to readers is growing at a much faster rate. I feel a lot of people like to collect manga, and hardcovers are more durable. And if you're doing stuff like the Battle Angel Alita hardcovers, which are incredibly nice, or the Mobile Suit Gundam hardcovers, or the Nausicaa hardcovers, which are these massive tomes that are, you know, really, really high quality. And I think a lot of series sort of deserve this treatment. I like what 7 Seas is doing with their classic collections. They know who's going to be buying them, which is hardcore manga readers and fans and collectors, and so they're giving us what we want, which is nice hardcover books. And I feel that this sentiment is held throughout from people from what I've talked to. Hardcovers is something that people want to see, and people really like to see when, you know, their favorite series gets a hardcover release. You know, we have the Full Metal Alchemist Full Metal editions coming out this year as well. So, you know, hardcovers, while they are more expensive, when it comes to collecting and, you know, holding a book and keeping it nice, hardcovers are definitely the way to go. They're more durable, they look really nice, and when you pick them up, it feels like a heavy, durable book that you know is going to last a long time. And oftentimes they're designed really, really well. And so I like to see more hardcover series. Maybe not like a lot, but maybe, you know, experiment with some, you know, more popular or shorter length series, like Fantagraphics, like Nijigahara Holograph. That's only a single volume series. Make it a hardcover, why not? It's only 1 volume. So maybe these series that are by authors or mangaka that are more famous, maybe do a little bit of experimenting with hardcovers, new formats, new bonuses, dimension size, that kind of thing. And I'd really like to see these new hardcovers come out from these manga publishers. And last up on my list of 5 things I want to see from manga publishers, I want to see a little bit more experimentation with licenses. You know, we are seeing more of that now. Obviously, like 7 Seas is branching out a lot. I think Kodansha is picking up some odd titles here and there. But for the most part, Vertical has kind of stepped back from that. A lot of their titles are not that, you know, Kyoko Okazaki sort of experimental manga style, or Utsubora. That's sort of, you know, maybe Gekiga. Not really Gekiga, but, you know, it's not the norm of what we typically see. Like, Viz Media tends to play it very, very safe. They license the same stuff, and very few, if any, of their, you know, currently releasing series I would consider, you know, a risk. They don't really take any risk at all when they're licensing. It's like Shonen Jump, check, what's the most popular seinen series, we're gonna pick it up, and that's that. And so, you know, when you have the biggest publisher and they're not, you know, making these experimental choices, you know, I kind of get it, but at the same time the market is more stable and Viz has the capital to, you know, try these new series and experiment with them. And if this larger publisher is doing this experimentation with newer licenses and different series, you know, it will really help the market sort of get into that, because Viz is sort of the front line of manga. They're the biggest publisher, they publish the most series, and they have very good corporate, you know, ties to the Japanese studios, or not really studios, but companies. And so maybe not like a ton. I don't think it would be a wise idea to do a ton, but maybe 1 or 2 a year. They just try something radically different, or pick up a license that no one's ever heard of. You know, maybe like 1 or 2, just to sort of test the waters in markets that have really just been not tested. I know 7 Seas recently released My Lesbian Experience with Loneliness, which was sort of untested waters at the time, and that proved to be a very, very successful venture for them. So maybe looking into publishing some, like, online comics, maybe trying to partner with Lezen to release physical forms of their books. Though I'm not sure if a lot of those webtoons work well in book form. They might be designed for infinite scrolling, which, you know, would be a problem, in which case you couldn't really do that. But I'd like to see experimenting with, you know, more obscure works, older works, works by, you know, more experimental authors. You know, we had Axe Alternative Manga, which was sort of like an anthology book. You know, maybe do some of those. 7 Seas has been licensing the old classics, but there are still a ton of older classic series that remain unlicensed. Yeah, I want to see newer, different licenses, and licenses from magazines that we've never really had licenses from. Yeah, those are my 5 things that I want to see from manga publishers. Let me know what you think, or what are things you want to see manga publishers do in the future. Do you want to see these types of videos in the future? Do you like them? Do you like me sharing sort of my thoughts on the industry? That kind of thing. Let me know down in the comments as well. I might do videos similar to this if people tend to like them. I just kind of wanted to do this because I thought it would be interesting just to sort of get my thoughts out there, see what other people think about what manga publishers are doing that we like, and what things that we think could be improved, and sort of that kind of thing. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and share. If you'd like to, you know, let me know your thoughts and opinions, you can leave those in the comments section down below. I do have a Twitter account if you would like to follow me. There's a link to that in the description. And if you would like to keep up to date with all of my content, you can hit that subscribe button. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am Laethas. Goodbye.